So, did you think that humanity in the past was not stupid and weird and just doing some of the most random things? Well, guess what? That's not the case. Here are some of the most crazy things that people did back in the day, which you would right now just scratch your head in bewilderment. First one, we have this one, guys. A man testing a prototype football helmet. Of course, what's the best way? Well, just hitting your head against a shed. You're gonna break your skull, but hey, at least you tested it. Next one, we have this one with winners of Miss Perfect Posture. That's right, contest in the Chiropractors Convention 1956. Each girl stood on a pair of scales, 1 foot to each, and the winning trio each registered half her weight on each scale. That's right, confirming correct standing posture. There was a competition for standing posture. Right, this one is hilarious. Soldiers use gas masks to stop them crying while peeling onions. I mean, it's smart, but at the same time, do you really want to inhale that like artificial stuff in your mouth all the time? I'm not sure. I don't know. Next one. This one is crazy, guys. Movie Jacob showing a giant bruise on the side of his patient Anne Hodges after she became the only person in the entire history to have been struck by a meteorite and still live to tell the tale. Next one. This one is amazing and also quite scary. Russian soldier feed polar bears from their tanks, 1950. I mean, you have to be really brave because they can literally snag your hand and just push you down and then they just eat you whole. Right, next one, guys. This is the day Sweden switched which side of the road they are driving on, 1967. As you can tell, quite the chaos. A police officer judges an ankle competition in London. That's right, ankle competition. Right, next one. New South Wales police in Australia turned their motorcycles into chariots in a death race. I mean, just imagine the danger of this is just off the charts, honestly, guys. Alright, next one. Here we have woodsmen in Montana put on an advertisement. Wives wanted. Of course, because they were working all day long, they had no social life. So, getting married was really difficult for these guys. So, the best way to advertise yourself is not go on a date. Just to put a sign there saying they need wives. That is just brilliant. This is Macy's department store detectives pose for a photograph with their backs turned so they do not reveal their identity, as these are people who are obviously detectives in department stores and investigators. Quite an interesting one, isn't it? Right, guys, next one. If you have Boy Scout examine their boots after a 8,000-mile hike to attend the first Boy Scout Jamboree. They walked 25 miles a day for 2 years. That is just crazy insane. All right, next one. Here we have a boy standing with a boar. That's right. People back in the day, 1930s, would use boars to write. I mean, genius, just absolute genius. Next one. This guy is a U.S. Marine somewhere in the Pacific Islands, poses for the camera, completely naked with a leaf. Yeah, quite crazy, isn't it? All right, next one. We have the teachers have a spot to drink on a spring break. That's right. So you have here spring break and they're getting super drunk. As you can see here, this woman is definitely getting really drunk. She is taking as much as possible. Right, more stuff, guys. This is hilarious. We have a dog with a pipe. Why not? Children are learning how to swim in a schoolyard, 1920. I mean, this teacher must be the most retarded teacher in the world, because you cannot teach someone how to swim on dry land. It's physically not possible. Anyway, moving on. Next one. The Telefontomek. This is connected to 5,000 phones lines in Stockholm, guys. Just crazy. Next one, we have this photo here. Sean Connery signs a coconut for a little Jamaican on the set of Dr. No, 1962. Yeah, that's right. Next one. The US Capitol building is painted with a layer of red anti-rust paint before being painted white again. So it got painted in red to avoid the rust. So that means that it has tons of iron potentially. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Here we have quite an interesting piece of movement by history. An ancient statue of Ramses the Great is dismantled and relocated during construction of the Aswan Dam, 1967. Quite impressive, guys. Right, an elephant is used to load supplies into an American plane, 1945. I mean, I have to give it to them. This is actually pretty damn smart. Next one. Here we have this one, the Ku Klux Klan at a carnival in Cannon City, 1925. I mean, honestly, guys, seriously, guys, what the hell is going on in America? I have no idea. Next one, President Lyndon B. Johnson driving his amphibious car. As a prank, he would drive the car straight towards the lake when anyone visited his ranch, and of course, people would just get scared and be like, oh my god, what are you doing? And of course it would not be no problem because the amphibious cars are actually able to kind of like, cruise across the lake with no problem. Next one, British soldiers who captured German Goliath tank busters, which would drive under tanks and explode. This is a very smart device, to be honest, quite smart. Next one, Laika, the first dog in space. This was a capsule built around her. No provisions were made for her return, and she died in orbit. That is really sad, to be honest. They sent the dog for her death, pretty much, just to experiment how the animal will live and survive in space. Next one, we have the Niagara Falls is temporarily dammed so that repairs can be carried out. That's right, that is quite impressive, isn't it? Next one, we have a dog being posed by a German soldier. I mean, that is hilarious, to be honest. Next one, 20,500 officers, nurses, and soldiers from Camp Gordon form a human eagle, 1918. I mean, this is incredible. Have to give it to them. Kudos to them, guys. Even a better one. 30,000 men from Camp Custer made the American Shield thing, I guess, US Shield. So that's quite interesting. Next one, this woman was fined by 5 days sentence and sent to jail for wearing pants when she was giving a courtroom testimony about witnessing a burglar. That's right, this is crazy. 1938, so she was a witness and then she went to jail for 5 days because she was wearing freaking pants. That is crazy. Why would you even do that? All right, I don't know, guys. Some people are just insane. Next one. You have the Four Horsemen ride through the streets of Amsterdam on a motorless day when cars were prohibited due to the oil crisis, 1973. That's right, there was a prohibition of cars in the 70s in Amsterdam. Quite crazy. This one is a foot guard passes out as Queen Elizabeth II rides, and yeah, this is what happens because of superheat and there's just no air there with the helmet and everything, and this happens quite often actually. Next one. This one, guys, when they realized the poverty-stricken women were using sacks to make clothes for their children, some flour mills started using flowered fabric for their sacks. So, of course, it could have some sort of fashion because women would use these sacks to make fashion for their children because they could not afford to buy them in the store. That's how poor people were back in the day during that crisis. Next one. This was the Ringling Brothers circus elephant exits a train car, 1963. Next one, beware of the dog. A bulldog guards a British home barricade during the Blitz, 1939 to 1945. I mean, that's hilarious. Next one. This one is a massive, the world's record black sea bass caught by Edward Llewellyn. It weighs 245 pounds. He bought it in alone. So all by himself. That is crazy. Alright, next one and the final one. This is actually an electric scooter, guys, in 1916. That's right, these things existed back in the day and now they are reintroducing it back to our society as a new thing, but actually it was already there almost 100 years ago. Check that out. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next upload. Bye.